It's a win, Thierry. What did you think?
As I expected at half-time, I told you that Arsenal was going to sit and counter. That's exactly what they did. They let Paris Saint-Germain have the ball. The goal kicks were always long, no risks. That's very much so like Arteta likes to do, that we see on the screen. He said the other day that he has to adapt to what the game gives him, and rightly so. You 2-0 up. If the team doesn't hurt you too much, you wait and see, and you counter. That's what they did, and it was overall an easy win at the end of the day. They hit the crossbar at one point. I forgot who did hit the crossbar, but it wasn't enough from Paris Saint-Germain to be able to disturb Arsenal. It was a professional win, I call it.
There was a huge difference physicality-wise. They were just far too powerful for Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain couldn't really hurt them. When Arsenal were pressing high in the first half, they couldn't get hold of the ball, PSG. And even when Arsenal were deep there, they didn't really create anything. They backed themselves to defend. He's a disciple of, well, he certainly worked with Pep Guardiola, but they go about it in a different way. But at this moment, they're getting a lot of big results.
It's working.
It is. Well, this match was brought to you by... Very warm welcome, everybody. If you were watching on the Golasa Show with Nico Cantor and friends, good to have you with us. We're going to go to a very quick break right here, but we'll be right back with interviews, analysis, highlights, everything. We've got 32 goals to try and get through. We may not get through them all. What is it? Is it breast, Mike, or is that what's to you, or what is it?
Boniface. Boniface.
Okay. Well,
32 goals. Stick with us. Look at this guy crying.
Good evening. So good to have you with us. Thanks for sticking around for the post-game. Kate, Thierry, Jamie, Micah, good to have you with us. We're going to go through a bunch of the action. Let's start with that game between Arsenal PSG. On paper, perhaps the game of match day 2. Let's take a look at how it played out. 2-0 the final score for Arsenal in this one. We'll take you through the goals. Again, Kai Havertz with the first for Arsenal.
Great work from Leandro Trossard. As you can see here, you're going to see the usual run of Kai Havertz. Bukayo Saka is on the second post. Kai Havertz reads it well. What delivery, from Trossard, and Kai Havertz gets in way before Donnarumma.
But yeah, just look at this, the running there. The way he's slowing it up, and then he goes quicker. Then he slows up again for the timing. The ball was perfect, but the timing of the run was
connection. He saw that, obviously Trossard saw that, and then he couldn't go too early. He would have been offside.
Correct.
So he timed his run, and he does that ever so well. He scored a very similar goal against Wolverhampton at the beginning of the season.
So you see all those players at the back. We see that so often from Arsenal, doesn't it? Whether that was a miss hit from Saka, was it something deliberate? You know, you never quite know with Arsenal. And normally Saka's delivery is so good, right on point. But I agree with you, Thierry. I think the goalkeeper's got to do better. It's not easy. It's right in front of him, but he just flaps at it at the last minute. And I think when Arsenal go 2-0 up now, you almost feel like the game's done, don't you, Micah?
Honestly, he's such a good player going forward. I mean, he struggled at times defensively, but really good strike. Just doesn't get the right amount of sort of bend.
And then another opportunity for Paris Saint-Germain on a set piece, very Arsenal-like from João Neves. Yes, I mean a very difficult skill what he tried to do, but the ball did hit the crossbar. As you can see here, it's kind of let's try to hit it and see where it goes. But if the ball went second post, Barcola was alone, but he went on a crossbar.
Ridiculous stat. 81 shots, and have not, because we had a conversation about Mbappe and obviously Dembele not being there tonight, and the difference. So much of this team was relying on the brilliance of Kylian Mbappe. Now we're seeing they're still creating chances because if you're taking 81 shots, but there's no killer instinct in front of goal at this moment in time.
You have to. I'm going to play the devil's advocate. Some of those shots were also when Mbappe was in the squad, so they didn't score since when he was there. They scored against Girona, but we all know that it was an own goal. We're talking about them, a Paris Saint-Germain player, scoring in the Champions League. So it happened when Mbappe was there, and it's still happening now. I still think it's a different ball game when you do have a Verratti, when you have Dembele could have been there, but he was punished. You don't have, we talked about it, obviously Mbappe in the squad, or Dembele, obviously, as we mentioned, as he was out. But the team is well balanced. They had the ball. They had a lot of possession. That's about it. You don't have that match winner, that game winner that you had in the past. Yes, the team is a bit more well balanced. You can see that there is an idea when they approach the other team. They know what they need to do, but in and around the box, apart from Barcola tonight that was trying to do something, we didn't see much. But again, you left Dembele at home for a reason that we have to respect. But they would have helped tonight for sure.
I mean, PSG are a top European side, right? Do you consider this a statement win for Arsenal in that sense?
I think in terms of the name of the club and where the players that they've had in the past, I think when you're looking at the team 11v11, it's still a good win, but I still think, and credit to Arsenal for this, I think when you think Arsenal are at home to PSG, I think very few people would think PSG go there and win right now. And that's probably, it's not criticising PSG, I think that's more sort of giving, what do people say now? Flowers. Flowers.
Correct, yeah.
Arsenal, you can have my flowers.
I'll say one more thing. Like I think that for me it's as you said, it's normal right now that Arsenal beats Paris Saint-Germain at home, especially that Paris Saint-Germain side, with no disrespect to Paris Saint-Germain. I want to win like that away from them against Paris Saint-Germain or whoever's going to come your way. Go at
Does
Inter.
Does like that though with the new setup, does it?
Go at Inter and win strong. Like, be strong defensively, no shot on target against Porto, 2 against I don't know who, and 3. I want that type of win away from home. Then I can talk about and be loud as an Arsenal fan saying, hey, we can win in Europe. We didn't.
We can win.
I didn't.
That was loud.
No, listen, I didn't win with Arsenal also in Europe. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying to you, a proper statement win is do that away from home.
Dortmund, Brest and Leverkusen are the 3 teams right now with a 100% record. Brest actually play Bayer Leverkusen match day 3, so that'd be an interesting one.
It's a big one. Like sometime name. Oh my God. No, you know what? I gotta go. It's a big game.
Jamie, what's up with you?
Because we both top, so obviously it's a big game.
Bit lopsided, I think.
Anyway, should we? Sure. Oh, good news, everybody. We have a guest coming into the show. They'll enjoy joining this, won't they? Apparently, Karim Adeyemi is getting mic'd up to come and join us on this one. Woo. You good?
I am great.
Patrick tonight. Did you enjoy his performance?
Yeah, it was brilliant. I mean, Adeyemi is just one of them players who excites you every time you watch him, whether he's playing on the right, the left, dribbling, he runs in behind. And a hat-trick tonight was just great. But he did get an injury, which we'll ask him about.
Yes, we will.
Hopefully he's OK, because...
Rice doesn't look too badly injured, hobbling a little bit, but what do you make of Arsenal's performance?
Yeah, no, I'd be really pleased, Arteta. Probably looked about 78% capacity, most of those Arsenal players. And what I look about Arsenal, we're seeing more of it these days. They can play anyway. They can go after you, press you high up the pitch. At times they drop off. They're prepared to allow you to have the ball. They actually entice you into their half of the pitch, such as the confidence they have in their defensive structure now, and they can braid out quickly and hurt you on the counter-attack. So more of a battle-hardened Arsenal team against the kind of work in progress you felt PSG team, who are out some of their best players. They had no focal point to the attack. Martin makes the point correctly about the midfield 3, a little bit samey in there, playing a lot of safe passes, but they probably didn't have that focal point. Ramos up front, that number 9 who was pinning centre half, saying, yeah, give it the ball into my feet, you can play off me. No Dembele, who's a big player for them off the right-hand side. So I'd cut them a little bit of slack, but certainly they need to improve.
You're giving Arsenal a chance to win the big ones this year, the Champions League and especially the Premier League. Shay, you're not so sure? Any more convinced after tonight? Because that's a high-quality outfit.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced until they prove me wrong, I suppose, and get their hands on some silverware. Then I still think... I know Havertz has scored a game, but I still think they're lacking maybe a focal point when it comes to the latter stages of the season. Big games, it comes down to the final home straight. And even in the Champions League as well, have they got that big player to step up and get them? And time will tell, and Arsenal fans will be probably shouting at the TV will prove him wrong, because you can be left with egg on your face, I suppose, if they pull it off.
Well, they are finding different ways to do it. Set pieces is one way, which is as old school as it gets, Martin, and they've also got the Havertz and these non-traditional strikers who are chipping in.
Yeah, well, you talk about set pieces, it's part of the game. And a couple of years ago, I think it was the opening match of the season, a couple of years when they went to Brentford, and they were absolutely mauled, for set pieces. And they've learned about that there. Not only have they learned defensively, but offensively as well too. So it's a big part of the game. But they can play as well too. Saka's a brilliant footballer. I know I mentioned this earlier, but to me, He's the outstanding player. He's the most creative player. And Arsenal play relatively simple in many aspects. Strong midfield, really strong in the midfield, strong running midfield, but eventually overload so that they can get Saka on a one-to-one situations. And invariably, he'll go past players.
Saka's a great example. We know, as Martin spoke about, his qualities there, technical ability, assists, his numbers are phenomenal off the chart. But his work rate. Now, if there was a lesson there we mentioned Barcola before the game, didn't have a great night. But being on the same pitch as Saka tonight is an indicator to him the level he has to get at. Not only in possession, but out position. How hard Saka works for the team is absolutely phenomenal.
You losing faith in Barcola?
No, I'm sticking with him.
Sticking with him for now, yeah.
He's destined for the top. He's destined for the top, that kid.
No, he's not.
Might just take a little bit longer than Kenny had planned. We'll be back after the break to talk. From our game is a comfortable scoreline, certainly from an Arsenal point of view. Martin O'Neill, was it a comfortable performance, you think?
It looks that way. They've got 2 goals, and Paris Saint-Germain have just handed the goals to them, really. You know what I can't understand, really, about this game? Is that Paris Saint-Germain have been watching Arsenal. They must have been watching some of their matches here. Everybody knows in European football that the most creative player Arsenal have is Saka. And every single week, Arsenal try and isolate the position so that he's one-on-one. So Mendes is having a really difficult time. Barcola, his young man, going forward maybe might be all right, although I'm not too sure about that either. But in all honesty, has been no help to him whatsoever. So one-on-one situations all night long, and it's so. And this coaching business, that is the easiest thing in the world to do, is to try and get someone else who can help out there. And honestly, you can deal with that situation then if you've got somebody in behind to help. I really do not understand it.
Kenny, you said at the weekend that Trossard owed his manager one for the sending off against Man City. He delivered late on at the weekend, and he's done it again to set up Kai Havertz for this goal. Yeah, pretty typical of Trossard, this. Obviously, he hasn't got that kind of electric pace to kind of burn players, but clever operator, picks up the ball in pockets, his head is always up. Could have lent it to Martinelli there, but he doesn't. Checks on the inside, and this is just pitch perfect for Kai Havertz, just inviting him to go and head it. I'd question Mark the patch and Núñez. The run of Havertz, they have to deal with that between them. They have to close the gap and at least put in a contest. They don't. Far too easy. Goalkeeper, Shay?
Yeah, it's disappointing. I think goalkeeping is obviously about shot stopping, coming for crosses, dealing with balls into the box, but also it's about decision making. And for me, Donnarumma's made the wrong decision. I think the quality of Trossard's too good. And obviously Kai Havertz, we've seen, as you said, Owen, at the start, makes that run nearly every week.
If he stays, though, if Donnarumma stays, surely...
I think he's got a chance. I really do.
Havertz going to head in from 5 yards.
I think if you're in your line and you're in a set position, you've got a chance of stepping and diving and getting it. You know, or the other option is if he's coming, there's no way that Havertz is getting the ball. And if he does head it, Havertz on the end of my fist because he's getting something at that point.
should be in that situation, though, the goalkeeper. The left side is centre-half. He's seen Havertz come from 10 yards away. You've got to track the run. You've got to drop into the space. And if you don't win the header, at the very least, you've got to disrupt the run from Havertz. And that ball goes behind for a goal kick.
PSG had their chances. They had their moments in the first half.
They have. It's amazing when you watch the game and it's 2-0. PSG have 61% possession, would you believe, in the first half, which was incredible. But Arsenal have done the business, they've got the goals, but they've showed glimpses. We're just going to show little glimpses here. This is Kenny's pal Barcola down the left. I think there's something in this player from an attacking point of view. I don't think you'll see this little flick. Timber does well in the sense at the end, but again, just another fraction of that ball, and he's in. This is Mendes, the left back. They're probably getting a lot of joy from their fullbacks, actually. Both very, very quick. And you see at the top of the picture here, Hakimi, this guy looked like he jumped on a motorbike to get on the end of this because he had 4 yards on Calafiori to catch up. And again, it's a really good save from David Raya. So there is glimpses.
Glimpses, Martin, but you don't like this from PSG?
No, absolutely not. Barcola's in a position there, and he's just there on the edge of the 6-yard box. He's the last player on earth I would want to be there. First of all, he's never recognised his own penalty box, never mind trying to defend it at the end of the... And it's coming in. He has got to get... When that ball's coming in, if it's coming in low, as it is coming in low, he cannot let Martinelli get in front of him. He doesn't even see him coming. He's just standing in that position.
Roll it there, Roisin, yeah.
Absolutely. And after that there, it's mayhem.
Mayhem, Kenny.
It's bad coaching for me. I'd agree with Martin totally. This lad's no defender, so he shouldn't be defended in the near post there. He should be 10 yards in front of Saka. That's where he should be. It's so important you have a natural defender in there because your body's got to be open. Martin's right. You've got to be able to see that Arsenal runner, and if you can adjust your feet and you can clear that ball.
It's another goal for Nicholas Jover, the set-piece coach, right?
Yeah, he'll be buzzing. I'm still not sure about Donnarumma. It's difficult for a goalkeeper in that position as well because there's so many bodies go across you. But you should still sort of keep the line of the ball. If he dives and someone flicks it in front of him, I don't think it's his fault, but maybe try and get some sort of block on it.
Yeah, but they flooded. We talked about the corner kicks before the game. They flood that back post area. And this occasion, they flooded the near post. But you have to recognise that. You have to shuffle across. Marquinhos there, the 2 or 3 Arsenal players in and around them. That's too much. Pacho, the other players, have to be shifted across quickly to close those gaps. They didn't.
Arsenal drew 0-0 against Atalanta in their opening.